So for today's video, we're talking about the power of stepping into the unknown, why it's so important to step into the unknown, and how you kind of limit your own growth by holding yourself back and staying within your comfort zone. So one thing I've noticed is that a lot of us are attached to so many different things. We're attached to our beliefs, we're attached to the results of our past, we're attached to the past traumas we've been through, we're attached to what we've been taught by our parents or what others have told us about ourselves. And so what happens is we create these fears within ourselves that stops us from moving forward. It stops us from stepping into the future and actually being open to getting a different result. It's like we've allowed our results to create this very narrow perception, a very limited perception of what we believe the future hold for us, what we believe we're capable of, what we believe will happen if we step into certain situations or indulge in certain things in life. And so, for example, let's say someone's been in a relationship twice in the past, and both those relationships ended in them getting hurt in the end. They got manipulated, they got their vulnerability used against them, and so now they perceive any relationship they could possibly get into as something that will hurt them or something that's bad for them. And so now they stop even pursuing that. Or maybe someone has spent their whole life always having to earn love, as a child, or with their parents or with their younger friends. It was always a thing of, I have to prove my worth, or I have to do this and this in order to receive that love or appreciation. And so now they stop even trying to get new friends. Now they stop interacting with other people because they either feel they don't deserve what they want from the world, or they aren't deserving of these things from the world, or they feel that they'll have to earn that. So they don't want to be in a state of constantly having to please other people, basically. So now they don't even step into new friendships because they automatically make that pre-assumption that that's what they're going to have to do. And it's that pre-assumption of what might happen that makes us not even ever take the chance to find out. Like, stepping into the unknown is essentially can be compared to just taking a risk in life. It's stepping out of your comfort zone. It's trying to do something new that you don't usually do. It's trying to develop a new habit or just get a new experience for yourself. But those pre-assumptions we make for our of what that future might look like and what that future might hold, and the pain or the feeling that it can inflict in us, whether we believe we're gonna fail or whether we believe it's gonna just end up in us getting hurt. And it could get way deeper than that. It can get as deep as how we perceive ourselves, what we perceive ourselves as capable of handling, and whether we even trust ourselves to be able to handle that pain or handle that exact situation. And so basically that pre-assumption of what the future might look like makes us not take any action at all. So you might have a goal, you might have a dream, you might have a vision for yourself to be in a place in this world that allows you to step into your purpose, or you just do big things for yourself. But you might see that situation as hard. You might say, hey, it takes a lot of time, or I don't have this and this in place in order to be able to do that. I don't know what life looks like without this thing in my life. And so I'm scared to let go of what I currently have now, even though what I currently have now isn't what I want. But if I let it go, then I might have nothing at all. And so you have all these pre-assumptions of what life might look like if you start taking that action in which you want to actually take, to the point that you just settle for where you're currently at, even if that's what you don't want. And all that's because we've allowed our past results to become our sole definition of our reality. But that's the whole thing, because it's like you never truly know the outcome, what your results will be, until you take the action to actually find out. And I will use myself for an example. Like, when I started YouTube, I had no idea what I was doing. I just hopped in front of the mic and I wished for the best. I told myself, we'll figure it out. At first it'll be uncomfortable and I might not know exactly what to say. I might do a bunch of takes. I might stutter. And if you go back to my first YouTube video just 4 months ago and compare it to now, it's completely different. And if you go to my Instagram and when I first started social media, go back to my first video from 2 years ago, it's completely different than who I am now, because over time of stepping into the unknown, those pre-assumptions you previously made really aren't as bad as you assumed them to be. Like, maybe I had the assumption of what other people might think. Will people think I'm corny? How I'm going to handle hate comments? If I'm even going to get results? But when I just took the initiative to just step into what I felt was best for me, what I felt called to do, then a lot of those pre-assumptions either weren't that big of a deal and I was able to handle them, or they didn't even appear at all. Like, a lot of the times the pre-assumption of what we believe will happen isn't even what actually happens. It's just like a made up theory in our head based off our past results. And then what a lot of people fail to realize is that the unknown is where you grow the most. It's literally where you see what you're capable of. It's where you develop the strength to be able to take on failures and losses and various different things. It's where you learn that, dang, I'm actually capable of way more in life than I previously thought. I like to use the analogy of like math growing up. So maybe picture yourself in like 4th, 5th grade, and then maybe you had an older sibling, or you knew a high schooler, or you just saw like high school math, whether it was algebra or pre-calc, whatever. Maybe like in 4th and 5th grade, you looked up to those things, or you saw like a algebra math problem, and you made the assumption that I don't know how I'm ever gonna figure that out. That looks way too complicated and literally undoable. And then as you literally started being forced to go up in the school system and like step into the unknown and literally have to learn new things without having a choice to, you stepped into those unknown situations where it was like things you literally hadn't learned before, and you figured it out. And that's what a lot of us don't acknowledge. Like, we figure out way more than we actually acknowledge for ourselves or give ourselves credit for. Like, if you're still here on this world today, you have overcome every bad situation, every hard time that has been presented to you in your life. Whether at one point in time you saw that situation in front of you, like, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. Whether it was a hard test, whether it was a hard conversation, whether it was having to go to a new school and not being sure if you were gonna be able to make new friends, all those various different hard situations, you got through them. You're still okay. You're still here in this world, and that's how you have to kind of perceive those situations that you make the pre-assumptions of whether you can handle them or not, or make you not take action because you just don't know what life looks like without that certain thing, or what life looks like if you actually step into that unknown. And so you have to let go of all these things and saying, oh, I need to have this, I need to be prepared, or I need this in place in order to actually take that action, or I don't know what life looks like, or if that's the best choice for me, even though it's what I want, and even though it's going to make me a better person. Like, you don't need to have all these things in order just for you to take action. Like, you figure it out along the way. Just like when I stepped into social media and doing videos and things like that, I wasn't always confident. I didn't always have this mindset and know all these different things. It's like, I just figured it out along the way. Like, as you step into the unknown, you start seeing the results you get, and you start using your creative mind. You're way more creative than you think. And so that's how you kind of have to like see the unknown. Like, it's something you're gonna figure out. And yes, it's always gonna be those moments where it's like, yeah, you can get hurt. You can experience pain. Maybe that relationship of your past did hurt you, but you can't allow that to stop you from stepping into any relationship in your future, because the reality is, like, relationships can be hit or miss. Some of them are going to teach you a great amount of lessons. Some of them are going to cause you pain in the end. Some of them are going to lead to you getting manipulated. But you have to make space for that, because on the other side of that, it could also be one of the greatest things to ever come into your life. And so when you take that risk, when you take any risk in life, you have to accept that, hey, I could fail. Hey, I could take on a great amount of losses. Hey, it could be painful. But do you trust yourself enough to be able to handle that situation? Like how I am now, it's like I love stepping into the unknown. I love trying new things. And so at times it's like, yeah, I might get hurt in the end, but I know how to handle it. I know how to navigate that pain because I've been through it, and I'm open to going through it. And I'm not going to allow the fear or the feeling of that pain to prevent me from ever stepping into the unknown and finding the things that truly make me a better me and help me improve and progress through life. And when you can develop that mindset, you'll be able to go after anything you want in this world. That's how you literally build trust within yourself, because when you make all these hesitations, people are going to come up to you and they're going to tell you their fears, their results, their opinions, and be like, no, don't do this. I think this is what's best for you. I don't believe you should be doing this because it could be bad for you, whatever. Like, people voice their opinions and voice their own fears and projections and perceptions of the world. But are you going to allow yourself to experience life for yourself? Like, are you going to allow other people's experiences to automatically become your own? Because at the end of the day, you have to realize that you are your own unique person. You have your own various skills. You have your various own strengths. You have your various own unique talents for what you're capable of handling and doing in this world. And so you can't compare yourself to other people's results because y'all might not even be the same person. Y'all might not think the same. Y'all might not have the same mindset. Y'all may not have the same motivation and drive or even passion. And so in those moments, it's like, yeah, I might just go out and experience things for myself and get my own results, because maybe it might be a situation where I might fail at first, but then again, I can learn how to win. I can learn the lessons and learn how to build myself into the person that's able to succeed in that area of life. So some of y'all might be in a situation where it's like, I'm scared to let go of my friend. I'm scared to transfer schools. I'm scared to make this decision. I'm scared to actually start that business, even though it's my dream or my goal. And you're making all these different pre-assumptions of like what life might look like if you actually take the action. And at one point, I was kind of that same person. Like, I don't know if I want to let go of these people, even though I know they're not good for me, because what if I can't find new friends? What if I'm just lonely all the time? Or what? I just don't know what life looks like without them. So I'd rather just keep them around and suffer with having them around rather than being completely lonely. And then when I finally gained the strength and I gained the courage to just say, hey, I'm cutting these people out of my life. Then I stepped into that unknown and I figured it out. Eventually, I made new friends. Eventually, I became happy with being myself and staying true to me and not having to put on a mask every day to satisfy other people. And so you just have to have that mindset. So please, if you're kind of at a point where you're hesitating a lot, where you're questioning a lot, where you're kind of doubting yourself, you're at a point where it's like, I don't know if I should or if I shouldn't, but I know I want to, but it's like, I don't know if it's the right decision. By all means, take the risk. I'm telling you, step into the unknown, bro. You can figure it out. You're capable of figuring it out. You've always figured it out, regardless of what pain it might inflict on you, regardless of what failures you might have to take on. Make the room for that, because that's what comes with the journey. But you have to be willing to take that risk in order to truly find that thing. That might be the risk that's preventing you from stepping into your purpose. That's preventing you from stepping into your own potential. And again, the unknown is where you see the most growth within yourself. You can't grow if all you're doing is staying true to your comfort zone and just doing the same thing every single day, because you know what to expect. You know what pain it causes you. You know what outcomes usually happen. Like, you can't just stay in this bubble of constantly feeling like you're in control and feeling like you're in a safe space. Like, in order to grow in this life, in order to truly step into your full potential, in order to truly become that best version of you and the person that you were meant to be, you have to be willing to step out of that comfort zone and gain new experiences in life. And like I said, I had an announcement at the end of this video. So I am creating a community. So this is going to be on the school app. I recommend you guys download it. So what this community is centered around helping people through their self-growth journey, because as we know, self-growth isn't as simple as people try and make it seem. At times it can be very confusing. At times it could be very lonely. At times you just don't know how to navigate it, and it's a lot of different uncertainties. And so what this community is a community of helping people through their self-growth journey and kind of taking away that loneliness. So we all go through it together. We all progress through life together through various giving each other advices. There's different courses and different videos in there, exclusive videos in there. But basically, it's a private community where you will be able to go through your self-growth journey and be able to discover more about yourself and help you turn into the person that you're trying to become. But yeah, so that's the announcement. All that stuff will be down in the description. You can find out more details about it down there. When you click on the link, it'll be a completely separate video that explains it further. But as always, man, I appreciate and love you guys as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.